Good morning. I hope you've had a good week. This is the third time I've tried to record this and messed it up each and every time. So I'm hoping third time lucky. I was reflecting back this morning actually, and trying to think what to write in my emails that go out on a Thursday. And I remembered a conversation I'd had with a tutor a while back, and he's contemplating giving up his full-time job so that he can focus on growing his tutoring business. And he was saying at the moment what's happening is tutors are getting into, or people, or families that he's working with are asking him if he has anyone that can tutor a different range of subjects. And so what he's been doing is contacting people in Uganda, where he's from, and asking them to provide online lessons for children here. He said they're all from reputable universities, and he's quite confident. And I said to him, it sounds a great idea, but it's similar to a mistake that I made when I first started. Because what's easiest for us isn't actually always what the parents are looking for. They're looking for what's best for them. And when I first started tutoring, same situation, people would say to me, "Oh, can you support this? Can you support that? Can you support whatever else? Maths, history, not maths, sorry, history, French, German, whatever." And so as I got busier and busier and I couldn't handle all the work I was getting, I was kind of saying, well, I know this person and they can probably help you. And I'd pass on the tutor's details, and I was recommending these people. And long story short, Jamie, my lad, missed a lesson for his A-level economics. And one of these people that I've been recommending said that he could help with that. So I arranged for him to come across and spend an hour with Jamie, going over what this subject was. At the time, this is probably going back 12 years now. And he was charging £50 an hour plus transport. Just to put it into perspective, we were charging £20 an hour, including transport. And he turned up and he had a pen, nothing else, literally just his pen. So, okay, Jamie, so what would you like to talk about? And Jamie explained what it was that he'd missed. It's okay, so what do you know about it? And Jamie said, well, nothing, because I missed that lesson. He's, oh, you must know something about it. So Jay said, well, no, I missed that lesson, so I don't really have any knowledge on that aspect of it. But you must know something about it. No, I don't. I missed that lesson. And this conversation basically continued to spur a circle for the next hour. At the end of the hour, this tutor left, and Jamie was left with no more knowledge than he had at the beginning of the hour. And I was sat there as a parent, I was fuming because I just spent probably £60 and kind of like, well, I'm not actually in a better situation because Jamie's still none the wiser and I'm £60 worse off. But as someone trying to build a business, I was pouring my heart and soul into, I'd been recommending this person to other people. And you kind of think, well, if I'm recommending him, that reflects on my standards and my ethos. And so people are going to think that I feel that that's an acceptable way of tutoring. And I was I was doing the complete opposite myself. I was kind of spending up to 4 hours preparing a lesson to make sure I had all the knowledge I needed to make sure I had relevant resources and stuff. And here I was recommending people like that, who was doing something completely different. And at the end of the lesson, I kind of said, oh, afterwards, I spoke to this tutor and kind of said, I was surprised that this was how he was doing his lessons, that there didn't seem to be a lot of preparation and for what he was charging. And he go, well, no one's ever moaned about it before. And that was his answer. That was his kind of like um justification. So I was kind of, I'm complaining about it now, but it just didn't seem to register to him that what he was doing was any different to what he should be doing. And that wasn't the company I wanted to build. I wanted to build a business that was renowned for being the best. I wanted to build a business where we were known as experts in a specific field. I wanted us to be if you were looking for a tutor who as a child who is struggling with their maths or their English. And if your child has neurodiversity or is neurodiverse, then we were the ones to turn to. We are the tutors which will offer you the very best supports. And so at that point, I stopped recommending other tutors. I learnt my lesson. And then a few years later, no, it wasn't a few years later, a few months later, Jamie finished his A levels and kind of like he did a lot better than he anticipated. And I don't know what I want to do now. So he took a one-way ticket to Australia to give him time to think. And at that time, we kind of think, well, Clara's now left home. Jamie's now living on the other side of the world. For how long for? Who knows? Angel is only 2 months younger, sorry, 2 years younger, so she'll inevitably be leaving home soon as well. I don't want to still be working 7 days a week, offering the support to other families. I want to be at home with my own children. So that was the stage at which I started employing tutors, and I could kind of say, this is how we do things. It's not up to you to choose how we do it. As your employee, this is how I say that we do it. And from there on, the business went from strength to strength because I could recommend people and know that the support I was offering was universal across the company. And that's the goal with the franchise, I think, is I don't want to grow the business wide, as in multiple subjects and multiple areas. And what I want to learn, I want to build it deep. And so that we're covering one, two, maths, English, occasionally science now, but we are good at what we do, and that depth of quality is what's important, not a wide level of support that is only very, very shallow, very, very thin. So when you start to build your business, think start small, start niche. You can always build from there, but grow your reputation as being the expert in this field, not the jack of all trades at everything. And I'm sure that it will go a long, long way to help you growing a much stronger, sturdier, probably faster growing business. I hope that's given you something to think about. I hope it's helpful, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.